Yeah, and now you guys are on the WCR's payroll, apparently.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just got my first installment today, dude. I went out, bought a new car. It's super sweet. People are going to be super jealous. Whatever.
No, let me tell you, because we're recording this now, so I'll tell you what I told you on the phone. I was like, hey, TJ, I've been literally getting an email or two, plus multiple Facebook messages, text messages, phone calls every day since Kansas City, and it's just been more accumulative. I mean, it's become more and more and more, and everybody is asking me the same questions. Now, in light of the fact that, Perry did his video the other day, and then last night I was watching a podcast, and there Perry was on there, saying stuff, and I'm like, well, and everybody is asking me the same questions. They're all asking me the same stuff. And I've been a little bit ambiguous with a lot of them because, I just don't want to get into this he said, she said, all this kind of crap. And but after a while, I started thinking about it, especially after Perry put out his video. I'm one of you. Like, in other words, like, I'm out. I'm not just like some manufacturer trying to peddle a product. I mean, I'm out cleaning glass every day. That's how I make my money. I'm not getting rich off a Gunslinger. Just not happening.
All right.
And I have made a lot of friends over. I mean, I've been cleaning windows. I started in the mid '80s, and so you could just imagine how many friends I have that are window cleaners. And then advent of social media and everything over the past decade, and I've just met a lot of people, and I just am friends, like literally. I mean, as kindred spirits. And what's happened with all this social media, this stuff going on with Gunslinger is something pretty remarkable in terms of like from where I stand, and that is there are all these window cleaners that are behind me. They're all, I mean, coming out of the woodwork. I don't even know what they're. We love you, man. We got you. Like, got me for what? What do you got me for? But I mean, they're rallying to support me, and I thought that was pretty remarkable. And then based on all the text messages and the voice and all the stuff, I mean, I'm thinking, hey, I owe these guys an explanation. I just owe them an explanation. I at least owe them my side of the story. What's going on, and so that's why I wanted to do the podcast. So I don't even know where to start with it all, to tell you the truth. But one thing I do want to kind of stay away from is this whole berating of people. Because like I was making a joke earlier. I mean, everything could be interpreted by people differently. Like we sit there and you could say, well, my best friend has been punching me in the face every day since I was little. Right. And somebody might interpret that and say, well, see, he's giving you all that attention. That means he loves you, right? Or somebody else might turn around and say, hey, he's abusing you. It's all this subjective kind of stuff. Right. And the truth is, it's like, or a lot of people just don't like Perry. I mean, that's not a secret.
He's, someone passed me, not to cut you off, but someone forwarded me. I'll tell you who it was. It was Philip Alexander. He forwarded me privately this message, this email that he had that for once wasn't a bunch of fucking JavaScript and then a bunch of words and then looked like he typed it all out, but it was an actual link to a website in the Australia or whatever, to where he was a disgraced businessman. Perry Tait is at it again with some computer shit, which I read a little bit of it, and his past is his past, but I see what you're saying. There's kind of a I guess you'd say like a track record here of like consumer dissent when this guy is involved. And well, I know, I'm not trying to.
No, it is a bit. That's what I want to talk about. I mean, there's the track record. The record is the record, regardless of whether you like someone's personality or not. And I've gotten emailed this similar articles, actually several, about the computer thing, and then there was some links to threads and articles that Perry had, basically the same problems with his water-fed pole equipment over the years. And so this has been kind of a semi-consistent thing where Perry comes out with a product and then, gets everybody to pay for it so he could make it better and sell them the same thing 6 months later and then do the same thing with that.
That's where part of our frustration came from, because when I started doing the podcast and I started championing Reach It and their polls, I had, guys that are very active on social media, very well-respected window cleaners reaching out to me like, man, when this dude started out, that shit was junk. Are you sure it's cool? And I'm like, listen, man, I've been using this shit a while. I've had no problems with the stuff except for minor this and that's. That's kind of why I supported the Gunslinger, because, Perry's on board. I thought it was going to be cool. But it seems that those concerns that those guys were like, this dude's putting out another product. Are you sure it's going to be legit? Like, you're testing one thing. Is he going to make that same thing? Because he seems to, and it just seems to me like he puts something out to make some money, and then he takes that money and then makes it right, and then wants you to pay the money again. You know what I mean? So you're paying twice for what you should have paid for once. And